Ladies and gentlemen, the next speakers, Mr. Mario Laksmana, AI and its impact towards the industrialization, myth or truth. Mario is the software business manager at Schneider Electric Indonesia. 17 years of working experience in IT and OT operation technology companies, helping companies from different industries on their journey adopting relevant technologies to support their business. As the digital technology becoming more and more applied in many industries, including in manufacturing and process industry, now with Schneider Electric, Mario sees the industry with the adoption of the latest technology, specifically the industrial automation and process industry software. He holds Master of Business System from Monash University. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Mario Laksmana.
Okay, good morning, almost good afternoon, yeah? Just before lunchtime. Okay, before I start, maybe I can play a little bit video. How to click next this. Can you play next from the...
Make it. For exhilaration. For reconnecting. For endorphins. Make it for her. Him. Make it more efficiently while protecting our planet. Tomorrow's industry calls for stepping up today. The industries of the future mean being truly open, so you can make what you make with the next generation in mind, employing resilient operations that make efficient use of energy, redefining the role sustainability plays in industry, and delivering people-focused solutions that empower your workforce. Because whatever you're making, we will help you make it better so you can make it for life.
Okay, thank you. Good morning again. My name is Mario. I come from Indonesia. Now I'm as a software business manager for industrial in Schneider. Any of you have heard or Schneider before? Okay, good. So I think it will bring, this doesn't work.
Make it.
Sana ya? Hah? Sini.
Make it.
Oh, down, okay. So, I'm asked to share about how correlate the relationship between AI and industry, and particularly if it is have an impact to deindustrialization, whether it is true or not. Yeah. So, but before that, maybe some of you haven't interact with Schneider. Let me share a bit of who we are. So, we are the company that currently focus helping customer on two areas, energy management and industrial automation. Yeah, so we are very concerned on the sustainability, and then you put sustainability as a heart in any activity that we do. Internally, we call Life is On. So basically, we have the mission to help our customer in their digital transformation and their journey around sustainability and efficiency. Yeah. So Schneider today has evolved to a big end-to-end industrial company, and maybe some of you have interact with some of this brand in your life. like maybe APC. This is the world famous UPS. Maybe it help you to make sure you have a good electricity supply in your digital world. We also have Modicon. This is the first PLC brand in the world. Many industries using it until today. We also have OSIsoft or PI system. This is the industrial standard for real-time operation information management system, where the industry can keep their operation data real-time, and then they can use the data to make analyze on what's going on in their operation, and then make it trend in the future, and many more. We have also Merlin Gerin, perhaps at your home, you have a switch or circuit breaker to make sure that your home is safe when there is electricity shortage, and many more. So now today, Schneider becoming an end-to-end technology provider, which can be applied into several segments like building, data center, electrical grid, and industry. And then we do help our company to provide the base layer in the connected product, and then how each product can be communicate one to another in the edge control. And finally, on the top layer, we also provide application, analytical, and software. And this is where mostly AI technology are embedded. And then as the growth of the digital world, of course, cybersecurity, cloud deployment is also becoming a standard area that we also providing. So now we become a industrial IoT data and then a digital twin company. Now, at this opportunity, I also want to share with you that we have been 50 years in Indonesia. And then we have Pak Rianto also here, which also have contribution for quite some time in Indonesia. Thank you, Pak Rianto, my senior insider. And as today, we are almost 4,000 employees company. We have 2 areas of manufacturing in Cikarang and then in Batam. And then we have received quite a lot recognition, both from the government and from World Economic Forum as the Industry 4.0 Lighthouse, which is a reference for other industry to see how we run industry in the best practice around Industry 4.0. So the question is, does AI cause the deindustrialization? So in some news, we see that AI is blamed, or at least one of the factors who caused the deindustrialization, whether is it true or not. Some articles also quite strongly say that it is the cause because there is, in Indonesia itself, for example, there is a declining of industrial sector contribution to our GDP from the last 2 decades. So we are now investigating whether this is because AI or other technology or other thing. So actually, but on the other hand, AI is coming as part of technology involvement, as you all know. And then now, if you're talking about industry, AI is part of the 4th industrial revolution. That's what we agree. So this is something that the market or the industry cannot avoid. Yeah. Now how is Schneider vision and strategy on AI? So Schneider is leveraging AI to drive innovation, enhance efficiency, and deliver sustainability. So we, as started from the earlier clip that I play, efficiency and sustainability is the 2 keywords that we are focusing on, including how we deploy AI. Now, we use in a certain area like predictive maintenance to support our customer on how we can catch the potential breakdown before the actual breakdown is really happening. So this is really help the operator on their maintenance schedule, on saving maintenance costs. Also in the energy optimization, how AI can build more efficient energy usage, and including the quality control of our product. We use AI also to help us to inspect the quality before we release to the customer. So this is one example from one of our customer in US, power company, Duke Energy. They have a challenge to implement centralized of a system where it can help them to predict on their critical asset and to avoid failure, because they have in the past few failures, unplanned breakdown, which cost them a lot, and they're trying to make the situation better. So using two technology from Schneider, PI system, and AVEVA Predictive Analytics. By the way, AVEVA is the name of a software company that now part of the Schneider offering, which can help them to catch the anomaly based on their historical and real-time data condition of their asset. So as the result, they can save million of any recommendation given by the AI to the operator on the potential of breakdown on their critical machinery. Next one is still from the energy company. So this is also still in the case of predictive analytics. This is oil and gas company. They have refinery, they have power plant also. So they are trying to have a system to monitor their power plant to make sure they can have to avoid unplanned breakdown. So this is two examples on how AI is implemented in the industry. Now, so we understand that AI is part of the industrial revolution, but are we ready for that? Gitu? How the industry ready for that? So some articles says that upskilling will be a crucial. Indonesia also try to make some progress and program with the government on how we can implement a strategy to face this situation. And then Forbes also say it's all about reskilling. And that's why I take a study from Harvard Business Review. This is quite a recent study on how reskilling in the age of AI is very important. And then HBR is doing a research and survey to top about 40 companies around the world, in the US. And then they found these 5 paradigms that why reskilling is very important and then what they are. The first one is, it is a strategic imperative. Mostly companies see reskilling or upskilling as just a PR or a trend that they have to do something just for the sake of they need to show something that there is reskilling is needed. But those companies who successfully cope with this change, they put reskilling as their strategic plan. And then the second one is, it is the responsibility for every leader and manager, not only human resource. Usually training is given to HR and they have a narrow measurement on how many training have been given, but they don't really measure how the fitness with the needs of the business, fitness with each department. So it is crucial to collaborate with other business units, even from the top management, to have a support on the reskilling. And then it is a change management. So it is not only about the training, about new skills, but it is how we understand the supply and demand of the skills required for the new role or the new job description. And then we need, the company also need to evaluate the way they recruit the new talent, and then also given a discussion, have a discussion with middle management, because usually when manager know that their team need to be join a training program, they have a worry that the work will be disturbed, and then when they got the new skills, their team will go away to find some other job. So this is also a change management that need to be taken care. And then, of course, the talent, the employee, they want to reskill when it makes sense, yeah. Not just for the sake it is a direction from the top, but usually those who already success, the employee, they understand why reskill is needed, why the industry changing, AI is becoming a standard. So they will agree by their individually to spend some time, spend some effort to upskill and reskill. And then it is not a responsibility of one company. Those who are success in reskilling, they collaborate with external, whether it is the government through the policy or for the academia. They try to invite a young talent from the university or a vocational school to start working together, shadowing the professional, and then they have the latest fresh talent to support, to continue to sustain the business. Okay. So in Schneider, now we not only about profit. To keep sustainable, we have to take care about the planet, people, and profit. So now this is the slide that I borrow from my colleague in the manufacturing side, how they use this 4 domain that they using car as illustration, tire, where this tire need to be in the same balance condition for the car to be moved. One of them is people, and then the other is product or process engineering, management of manufacturing and logistics, and then for front-end process. So these 4 need to be balanced, work in the same, so the car can move, so the business can sustain. Now, this is also the sample what we do in our shop floor, in our plant. So we make a corner, a learning corner. So our employee, our factory staff, they can always upgrade themselves on related or future needed skills at any time, easily access. So they don't have to go somewhere else to access it. We are providing in it, so they can always up to date as with the skills and knowledge what is required now and in the future. And then on the right side, we also partnering with academia, university to get the best talent so they can also have a glimpse of what is required in industry, and then they understand from the beginning what skills that is required. So, in industry of the future, we believe that having efficiency in energy and having efficiency in the process, this is the combination that will help us to make a sustainable future. And then we try to implement it, not only leading by example. We do it in our own factory, our company, but also we have the solution to support our customer in their journey to sustainability. So back to the topic, whether AI is impacting the deindustrialization. Of course, there is some of the factor there, but the industrialization is not only about AI. It is because of the world supply chain, the evolvement of the technology, but it is technology, it is dual side of coin. Where whatever we are, which side we are, upskilling, reskilling is a must, as this AI, this technology is part of the industrial revolution that the industry and government can avoid. So it's up to us, it's up to the industry where we gonna put our position in this situation. Thank you.
Thank you, Pak Mario.
So,
Next.
yes,
There is
if any question, feel free. Okay, it's just before lunch.
Yeah. Is it clear?
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, I think if there is no more question, I'm happy to be here. It's a great honor to be part of smart people here. And I will be here if you should have any question or want to discuss further around the industry. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Pak Mario. May we invite Pak Mario, please come and join us on stage, Pak, because we are going to give a token of appreciation and will be given by Bapak Satriyadi Gunawan. Thank you. Please give applause once again, ladies and gentlemen. Yay, thank you. That was an awesome speakers from today's session, ladies and gentlemen, day 2 of AMG 2023.